Don't read him nothing, HT. Tell that fucking nigger to go find it himself.
Well, he's the one that's
Sturm,
making
listen,
accusations, so I'm
let's
saying
just stick
find
with
it.
the Americans for now.
And then we got this fucking
The
British guy
naturalization
over
act.
here. Like, bro, or you're with this standard guy. Yo, you're British, right?
Bro,
You
you
don't
are
know your
in a
fucking. You don't know
hostile
your.
zone.
You don't know your
Hold on,
fucking.
hold.
Yeah.
Hey, Myron, you're in a
And I'm
hostile
not
area,
scared to
bro.
have
Just
conversation with you guys because I'm not a pussy.
okay.
So you're gonna
Well,
have to either
you're
kick me
not gonna
out
have a
or whatever.
you're not gonna have a conversation with him. That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
well, this dude's a faggot, so whatever. Fucking British guy.
You're
Like,
in.
dude, I know you're mad about
Mate, men,
1776.
black men
Yeah.
are like most likely to
Hey,
fuck
look,
fuck
retard.
other black men. You
Hey, look,
fucking
look.
Sturm,
black cunt.
He's not British.
Hey,
He's not British.
kick this nigger. Kick this nigger.
That's the fucking first mistake you made. He's not British.
Like, I give a fuck about you, nigger. You fucking stupid followers.
Oh yeah. I told you he wasn't gonna have a conversation, bro. You just should have bought your
I had
time while
one
you're up
fucking
here.
question. You guys couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut. Fucking one question.
What was
I
it?
wanted to ask him about his fucking boats and hoes and shit. He runs fucking party yachts for incel fucking men. You guys got to fucking
Oh,
come
yeah.
correct with some thoughtful fucking
All
questions.
right,
Fucking
Sturm. I'll
amateur.
let him back up here. But only fucking radio gets to
I'm
talk. All
sorry,
right.
sir. It's a fucking white space. We know that.
I know.
They're the fucking rules. No niggers.
Hey, Shalom, this is the brother Abaya back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKadosh. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the whole full elect. Yeah, man, you seen the clip in the beginning of this video. This is how they talk about you when they're in their spaces, all right? When they not around you at these schools, when they're not around you at these workplaces, these so-called white people who are the biblical Edomites within the Bible, when they get amongst themselves, all right, when they go home, when they go to their country clubs and their little neighborhood community meetings, when they go, to the gun range and go hunting with their buddies or go on a motorcycle trip, or go camping or hiking, whatever they like to do in their spare time. When they amongst themselves, this is how they talk about you. Now, this select of guys, they are, somewhat called them white nationalists, but to put it, from what I've gathered from listening to these guys, because this group of guys, what they do is they get on Twitter throughout the week, and they have, these meetings, all right, these meetings where they don't allow so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people. They don't allow nobody that's not a purebred so-called white person, right? Edomite. As you've seen in the clip, this guy Myron from the Fresh and Fit podcast, which he's not a Hebrew Israelite, he's not a so-called Negro, but anybody that has dark pigment, they consider them just a nigger. That's what they call them. All right. I believe Myron is a Cushite, if I'm not mistaken. He may be Ethiopian. I'm not for sure, but I know he's not a Hebrew Israelite. He actually changed his name, to a more, English name. But anyways, yeah, man, this is what they think about. This is what they sincerely think about you. And when you go to these guys' pages now, the reason why I was able to, find these guys is because I have like a what I call a ghost page. I don't, post anything. I don't, I don't reveal my identity. I don't, it's just a page to keep in touch with what's going on throughout the world. All right, and a lot of times when you get on these social media sites like Twitter, for instance, which Twitter is now known as X. When you get on these certain sites, a lot of times they'll just recommend certain shit to you. All right, you'll see certain tweets that have nothing to do with what you're into, but you'll just see it on your timeline. And I happened to see this, and I clicked on it, and I was curious, and it led me to me actually, listening in on their live sessions that they have on Twitter. And yeah, just to put it, as nice as possible, they're 100% racist, all right? And I mean old school, inception of America racist. All right. And I'm gonna get a precept here in a minute, but when you listen to these guys talk, they 100% truly believe that you are inferior to them. They truly believe that they are the superior race. They truly believe that you are the lowest of the low. And I'm speaking to you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They don't believe in mixing with no other nation outside of their own. They don't believe in mixing with Asians, East Indians, anybody that has melanin. They don't believe in it. But I'm speaking to the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They believe you are the lowest scum on the face of this planet, and I mean truly believe it. All right, they're not just saying that to get up under your skin. They truly believe that, and they're preparing to act upon that hatred when the time comes. So the first precept I want to get, because a lot of our people are ignorant, and they seem to have forgotten how their foreparents got to America in the first place, and what their foreparents went through, and they turn a blind eye to the state of their people in today's in today's society. Right? When you look at the global landscape of how the world is ran, and these countries that have their own militaries and economic systems and power structures and religious systems, you are subject to the so-called white man's power structure, his religious system, his military, his belief system. We don't have our own power dynamics that we can lean upon and start our own government and powerful bodies throughout the earth. The only power that we have is Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua, and we have to serve out our punishment until Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua sees fit to pull us up out of captivity, right? But this is Genesis chapter 27, and I want to get I believe it's what verse do I want? Bear with me 1 second. Over here, the point is in verse 39. I'm gonna start at verse 39. No, I'm gonna start at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So Esau started crying because he got supplanted, all right, out of the birthright by his brother Jacob. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew from above. And that's why you see Esau runs the earth, beginning with the central banking families, right? The tribes of Amalek, and then, the beast system that they have set up with Europe, all right? The revised Roman Empire, NATO, European Union, and then over here in America, right? The harlot that rides upon the beast, all right? Mystery, daughter of Babylon, okay? That's how he's ruling. That's how he's dwelling in the fatness of the earth. He has the dominion of the earth, all right? He reaps the fatness of the earth, the benefits of the earth. Now, what he does with it, he destroys it and uses it for evil intentions, but he still reaps the fatness of it. Verse 40, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's what Esau has done. All right, because we ruled as the Hebrew Israelites for 40 years. We had 40 years of peace under King Solomon. But once Esau came into power, once they took down the Persian and Mede Empire, pretty much they've been ruling ever since. Now, you've had little spurts of different kingdoms that have popped up within Esau's fall. All right, when ancient Rome fell, you had a little, a time where Esau wasn't ruling the earth, but then he came back into power during the Renaissance era. All right, so he ruled as the Greeks, he ruled as the ancient Romans, and then he came back during the Renaissance power. All right, had the power of Great Britain, and then he came back with the revised Roman Empire, which is what you see today. Right, and he even rules, in Russia. I mean, Putin and the Russians, they're Edomites, man. Right. And going back to, like I said, the central bankers who truly control the world. But they rule the world by what? Their sword, all right? When the central bankers want something done, what do? They finance and instigate wars by any means necessary. They'll do whatever it takes to start these wars and start these proxy wars and start these bombs being dropped off on people, all right? Raping people, robbing people, stealing lands. They'll do whatever it takes to set up their puppet leaders, to set up their systems that they want in these different countries. So they live by the sword, even down to your basic Edomite that's just, amongst you working at a 9 to 5. He lives by his sword, all right? If you try to trespass amongst his home or, you piss him off enough, he will pull that gun out on you and threaten to kill you with it, all right? Verse 41. And this is the point I wanted. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And see, that's the point. These so-called white people who are the biblical Edomites, they hate you with a passion. All right, they hate you with a perfect hatred that came from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yahweh Shem Yahushua put the Edomites on this earth as the Edomites. And when you read the scriptures, they were always prophesied to hate Jacob. So when you can't be surprised when you hear or see a racist Edomite or they do something that is not beneficial for your people. It shouldn't take you by surprise, especially if you're well aware of what has happened to your people as a nation and the current state of your people as a nation. So when I listen to some of these conversations these guys have, at these spaces, because that's what it's called, spaces. But even if it's not on the internet, if you find yourself, if you take the wrong turn or you enter the wrong country club, you go down the wrong dirt path one day in a city, or you go in the wrong country club, you'll see, and I've done this before because of what, the job that I work. I've been in certain of these bars, I've went to certain of these bars and certain of these country clubs in the daytime around about 12, 1 o'clock, all right, where, they take their lunch breaks or they go there, when they're off. And I mean, it's straight. And this is in the inner city. And they look at you like, you nigga, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be misled and misguided and deceived to think that the so-called white man has changed or he's not the same as his predecessors, because it's not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. It's the spirit that's within them. Matter of fact, let me get that. So let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let's go over there real quick. Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let's read. Let's go to the point in verse 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, for the just shall live by faith. And his soul is lifted up in pride, is lifted up in deceit, is lifted up in treachery, right? But it's not upright. It's not lifted up in righteousness. It's lifted up in wickedness. Okay? So it's a spiritual thing of why they hate you. It's a spiritual thing of why they envy you. It's a spiritual thing of why they despise you and want to murder you and be done away with you. Even though they fail to realize that they need you, because Esau has never lived on this earth without Jacob, you Israelites, providing life for him. All right, whether we did it as a nation building a kingdom, because we got to remember we ruled Europe too. But whether we did it as a nation building a kingdom or whether we did it as captives, as slaves, we have always built up society. We have always built up the earth. We have always brought tradition and culture and life to the earth, all right, and meaning to the earth. But his pride won't let him see that and recognize that. He won't esteem that as anything, because he truly believes that he's greater than you and superior than you, regardless of what everything that's in front of him shows the opposite. Everything that's in front of him shows him that we're the superior nation, but his pride would not allow him to see that. His hatred would not allow him to see that. Verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Yeah, he deceives people and causes people to commit sin by his wicked ass philosophies and doctrines, and saying, yeah, a man can change his sex to a woman can change her sex to a man. Men and women are equal. You can worship Satan. You can be an atheist. You can do what you want to do. Just pay your taxes and don't run the red light. He transgresseth by wine. He doesn't regard the ways of the Creator, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. It See, like I said, he has the fatness of the earth, and by any means necessary, whatever he wants, he's going to find a way to take it. All right. Even when you go into the history, where I don't know if I can speak about that on YouTube, so I'm not even gonna mention it. But just know, any guy that, whether it was World War I, World War II, all right, the Afghanistan War, whatever villain they propped up as being the guy, just know that, you know, that guy, the actual guy they made the villain, wasn't the villain. Okay. It was always an Edomite versus Edomite, and a certain Edomite pride and hatred, you know, and insatiableness, right? Him being insatiable, unable to be satisfied, which it says he enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. When you look at World War I, World War II, or any of these wars, it's because he cannot be satisfied. He's insatiable, and he'll paint another leader of a country as a villain just so he can take what they have, all right, and rule that country how he wants it to be ruled, right? It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what you see is predominantly over here in this whore America, where, you know, nationality is irrelevant. They're just mushing everybody together and trying to do away with nationality and heritage, heaping all the people to himself, man. You know, so yeah, I wanted to do a lesson on that, because this is how they talk about you in their spaces, in their private time when they're at home. And we already know this. Us that have been called and woken up to the truth, we already know the nature of Esau. But, you know, sometimes when you see and actually hear them speaking, you know, it'll take you back just a little bit, like, damn, these people really, truly hate us and believe that we're inferior unto them. And that's a good thing, because we know and believe that we're superior to them. And, you know, that's the way it should be. You know, that's the story of Jacob and Esau, and that's how it's going to play out until the culmination, until Yahweh Hashem Yahushua says enough is enough. So until the next time, I will say shalom.